Welcome to The Stew. We're so happy you're tuning in. I'm Janae.
I'm Les.
And I'm Fern.
And guess what, ladies? Today we are going to have a conversation about national issues, and we actually have a special guest that is joining us for this conversation. Some of you may know him out there as Shinwin, and some of you may know him as Stephen Hanna. He's a contributor on the Guardian Radio Network, and I'm very happy to have him here. So please, let's welcome him, ladies. Stephen, come on out. Welcome, welcome. All right. Yes. So, Stephen, in our next segment, we are actually going to be joined by Miss Samantha Rolle from the PLP. She's the co-chairman. They have a convention coming up. So we figured, you know what, let's have a conversation about the national issues that are going on in our country. What a better way to get it started than to have you join us. So let's talk about some of the things that you and I have actually discussed previously, some of the things that you've mentioned, you know, in other forums and what have you. But ignorance.
Right.
Ignorance.
And not like
It's
It's a very heavy word, but it's I guess more or less at the forefront of a lot of your platforms.
I mean, yeah. Well, I feel like a lot of the issues that we face inside the Bahamas, not all, but like a lot of them have to do with just general ignorance, and not necessarily like in a negative sense, but like you being unaware of something is going to be a problem. And then there's also willful ignorance, and some problem where people just don't want to know stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I think this extends in a lot of areas of daily life. So you have things like with education, right? People like to complain about education. They like to complain about the D average. But it's almost as if we are willfully ignorant as a society on what a D average means. Because every year, they say it, every year the Ministry of Education explains it. And everybody in the Ministry of Education, from the union president, the director, whoever is the minister, they explain it. And every year, again, in November or October or whenever, they're going to say it's a D average, and everybody gets upset again. It's like the D average today, if you read what it means, which is available on the Ministry of Education's website, it is closer to what we understand a C to B, but they just use a different grading scale. So you understand that the D average is closer to what we understand a C to B, you know? So.
Yeah. So tell me, Stephen, what do you think about the VAT money? Where it gone? Everybody makes such a big deal about it.
Right. Okay, so this is one of those instances where it's, yes. Okay, so, sorry.
Keep deep.
Keep deep. Yeah. All right. So the problem with the VAT money is that, like all the other money that the government collects, it goes into the consolidated fund. Hakita's told us that. But the problem is that because in the consolidated fund, everything comes out of there. And the first thing that comes out is whatever the MPs need, whether they need new stocks or their money, their insurance, all this different stuff. So that gets pulled out first. So the money might be put in for something, but it doesn't get taken out for that reason. So it's like you have your budget for home and you put it all on the table, and then somebody just keeps taking it because they want to go to the movies and they want to go here and there. And so by the time you come to pay the electricity bill, all of the money is gone.
Oh, wow.
And so like that is kind of where the VAT money went.
Oh my goodness. That's a
very deep.
It sure
deep.
is.
We have to talk more about that.
That's a constitutional issue, though.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's ignorance. I think that's a sticky situation.
That's keep them distracted until
it's
they
smoky
don't want to
mirrors.
be dumb and dependent
It's
anymore.
a lot of smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
But we've got to actually run. Ms. Rolle is on the other side of this break. We're going to talk to the PLP about their convention and what's actually going on in their party. We'll be right back after this.
Continuing our conversation on national issues, we're very happy to have our next guest in-house with us. She is the co-chair of the convention committee for the PLP as they have their upcoming convention on the horizon. And joining us for this conversation, we still have Stephen Hanna sitting in with us. So please, let's now welcome Miss Samantha Rolle. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, Ms. Rolle, the Progressive Liberal Party has a convention coming up. Tell us when and where it will be held.
Oh, the Progressive Liberal Party has the convention scheduled for the 23rd to the 25th. We have a pre-convention prayer breakfast, which is the 22nd of October, and it'll be held at Malia Hotel.
Lovely. So, right now, what is the overall focus and the plan for the convention?
Yes. So the convention theme is a new perspective. And so with that, we want to come out with a new perspective. I'm sure you know that May 10 or leading up to May 10th, the Progressive Liberal Party had a crushing defeat. And so we want to be able to analyze, listen, and respond to that during the convention.
What is the focus of the convention specifically?
The focus of the convention is just like I said, it's really to analyze where we've been, where we're headed. It's to have a renewed focus and perspective on various things, national issues such as community development, youth inclusion, such as land development, all of those economic diversification, all of those key national issues that actually matter to people.
So talking about issues, one issue that, I know a lot of people do have is the fact that there are a lot of old heads still in the party. I don't know how best to say it. It's right. For me, it's bothersome because the young persons are the future. We represent the majority of the votes that the PLP other parties would have.
Right.
So what is your plan to now include young persons and to actually listen to them and get those over 50-ish out?
You know, it's very important, and I understand the old people concept, but it's very important that we infuse wisdom with youth, wisdom with innovation, and young people tend to bring that refreshing concept of ideas and innovation, and it refreshes any organization, political or otherwise. The whole vision for young people in the party, the party has a very strong youth arm. It's the Young Progressive Liberals, and it's led by a dynamic young man. And for that, in terms of the vision, it has a lot to do with making sure that those young individuals, including myself, have a seat at the table. Not only have a seat at the table, but are placed in strategic positions such as policy and strategy that helps to move the party forward.
So what is the message that you would hope Bahamian people in general, those who may not be a part of the party, what is the message you'd hope that they get from this convention?
The message I would hope that they get from the convention is that we heard you. We heard you leading up to May 10th. I think May 10th was just a symptom of all of that built up, of all of the population or the populace saying to the Progressive Young Liberal, you were once the party for the people. What has happened? And so what we want is for people to understand that, yes, we've heard you, we've analyzed, and now the convention is us responding.
Will you also be putting any type of concentration on electing new individuals in different areas and what's going to happen with that process?
Well, the whole process of the convention is to elect the leadership and not just a leader, right? And what that means is that you have a number of, as we talk about young people, you have a number of young individuals coming to the fore for leadership positions. So vice chairman, chairman positions, deputy chairman positions. And so these are key positions that help to sustain an organization, whether it's through branch, sustainability, development, and a lot of that has to do with community and getting involved with the people in various constituencies. It has a lot to do with strategy development as well. And how do you then, as a political party, as the Progressive Liberal Party, look at your core values and get back to your core?
But can you describe the selection process? And
Right.
how is it going to be that we will select, or there will be a selection process for these positions? I know the point I'm getting from you, that the point of the convention is really to analyze, research, strategize. Then at what point do we say this is the person for the job?
Right. So since the announcement of the convention, a number of individuals have already announced or publicly stated their interest to run for a leadership position. Not everyone, however, have showed their hand, if I may say. And so what happens is during the second day, it's called nomination. And so what that is one can be nominated, just as in like Toastmasters or something of the sort. One can be nominated from the floor, and I nominate you.
Right.
And from there, you then go into your voting process, which is the second day. So all the nominees are put forward the second day. The third day is when you actually vote. And so there's a voting population to vote against the individuals who have come forward.
Oh, so I'm guessing the convention committee would be the person in charge of this whole process, or?
Yes, the convention committee manages all elements of the convention. And so there's several subcommittees of the convention. Just like, again, any organization in planning an event, you have subcommittees that handle various aspects of that event. And so we have...
I want to ask you about Chairman Halkitis, just because I like saying his name. It's a fun word to say.
Yes.
So go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Halkitis is the chairman of the convention, and he sits and manages all of the subcommittees, actually. And so, you know, we meet regularly, we discuss our progress. We've been doing that over a course of several weeks, and then we move forward. And in terms of the voting process, there is a committee that actually manages the process itself.
Well, I'd love to ask more questions about, you know, the party, the plan for the convention, but we must run.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Ms. Rolle, for coming and speaking to us about what's going on with the party. I encourage, you know, my young people and the Bahamian population to really pay attention to what the plan is going to be for rebuilding the party, because you know, it's been a tough year so far, so we're looking forward to seeing what's next.
Thank you.
We will have more stew after this. Don't go anywhere.
This design tip is brought to you by Sherwin-Williams.
Welcome back to the stew. Now, this episode, we are talking about national issues. And joining us once again on our couch is Stephen Hanna, who's so absolutely well-versed in these areas.
Well, I have a specific set of skills. So it's like, it's stay in my lane. So,
Okay.
So it's like,
That works.
We thought we'd switch things up. At least Stephen thought it'd be a really cool idea to more or less quiz Fern and I on our knowledge of Bahamian stuff.
Right.
Okay, he wants to use the word stuff.
it's basically like, I just want to throw out something to you, and then you try to make a connection back to the Bahamas from that popular person, I think.
Okay.
So,
All right, so let's give it a shot.
All right, so the first one is Christopher Wallace, a.k.a. Notorious B.I.G.
What his connection is to the Bahamas?
Yes, can you connect that person, the rapper, the late Christopher Wallace, to the Bahamas?
Only thing I know about him is his parents were from Jamaica, and that's in the Caribbean.
Right.
And the
Do you know him by
Bahamas
any other name besides Christopher Wallace?
Biggie Smalls.
Right. But that's the connection, because
Okay.
Biggie Smalls is a character from a movie called Let's Do It Again that was directed by Sidney Poitier, starring Sidney Poitier, but Biggie Smalls, the character, was played by Calvin Lockhart, who's also a Bahamian from Freeport. So he took the name, like how Fonzo Bentley also got his name from that movie because there was a character in it named Bentley Farnsworth. And so it was a popular movie during the blaxploitation era, so like a lot of people in the 90s would have watched that movie. They took a lot of references from it, but Biggie Smalls is a character. Warner Brothers actually sent him a cease and desist letter, which is why his second album is B.I.G.
Right.
And the first time he was Biggie Smalls. Like they told him, you can't call yourself Biggie Smalls because that's our character.
I must say that is quite a roundabout way of bringing in the connection, but I like what you did there.
I mean, just saying, like,
I didn't know that. That's really interesting.
Hey, you'll learn something every
Well,
day.
I tell you the 2 for 2.
Stick with us. We'll learn ya.
Yeah.
All right, so what else you got?
all right, this one is easier. I feel like you guys should get this one.
Okay.
Just give me 2 reasons why the Lakers owes the Bahamas.
Listen, that's Leslie. I don't do the Lakers,
I would
you know.
say
Even if you don't do the Lakers,
I'm just so glad they're not winning these days.
Michael Thompson.
You know what I'm saying?
Clay Thompson.
we
Well,
got
Clay
it.
Thompson isn't Laker, but you just named
I was
off
just-
all
yeah.
the Damon.
I was thinking basketball players.
But yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
is that it?
That's it.
That's it.
Yay, way to go.
2 for 2
Bahamas.
again.
Hey.
We're out there.
50%. You guys are well on your way to almost passing.
I tell you.
I mean, if you
We
want,
smart a little bit.
I mean, we have time for.
Throw another one at us.
All right, so you guys heard of Nina Simone before, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so can you make a connection between Nina Simone and the Bahamas?
I know
my
that she
cousin.
performed here before.
All right, did you just say she's your cousin?
That's my cousin.
Is she your cousin?
No, she ain't.
Okay, just
I thought that was the closest
Bahamian
little family
thing to
ties.
do.
You know, everybody is
That's the
cousin.
connection.
Right.
That's
so
my cousin.
Nina Simone,
Yes.
during the 70s, was one of the many famous people who performed and did other things with a young man. Well, he was young then. Tony McKay,
Tony McKay.
right?
Yes.
The Obeah Man
Yes.
slash Exoma.
Yes.
And she covered at least 2 of his songs, 22nd Century and Obeah Woman.
Cool.
And so it's like, you have this Bahamian who is that prolific, that like super famous people were covering his song. Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that is the connection that I draw from Nina Simone to the
I love
Bahamas.
it. Love it. Well, thank you for that, Stephen.
that was very
That is what I
informative.
would call getting an edumacation, and we absolutely appreciate that Stephen was here to do that for us. But guess what? We got more stew.
Yep.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we've got more stew for you. So don't go anywhere.
What kind of stew? Corn stew?
What a wonderful episode. National issues, I mean, just utterly important for us to be aware, to know, to, you know, just quiz even our family and friends on what's really going on. And as Stephen said, why? Why are these things happening and why are we even going through issues? Always ask the question.
Yes.
It was a great episode, girls.
Yes, it was. I love having that conversation. Sometimes you got to get serious, you know, and just lay it all out there for the people.
Yeah,
So
I just think y'all like talking politics. That's all.
we like that, sir.
We like the politics. We like it. We like it. We like it. So again, we will be back. Our next episode, again, is going to be jam-packed with so many things. You don't want to miss it. But if you did miss anything at all, you can always catch us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and on the website, ILTV Studios. ILTV.com, ILTV Studios, across everything I just named. Yes. So no excuses. Catch up. We'll see you next time.
When the vibe is right, we can talk about anything you like. Just listen. Take a walk right over to my kitchen. What you wanna do? Come mix it up with the stew. So tell me what you wanna do. Come mix it up with the stew. Yeah, come mix it up with the stew.